Our last requested review is from Arthur D. Gonzalez Martin, and he's requested that I cover one of 3 webcomics he left up to me, and all are of mature content, according to him. So I decided we'll go with Alpha Luna, at least so we have one form of werewolf media done this year. Alpha Luna is considered a comic manga by Leonardo Fernandez, which seems to have been around since January 2005, and currently has 5 issues worth of story. According to the New Readers tab of the main site, this gets updated weekly, save for any time a break occurs, and while not published professionally, they are interested in it, they have managed to get it printed in its original language, that being Spanish, as the creator lives in Chile, which is only available to Latin American audiences. Well, the last time Arthur got me to read a webcomic with a werewolf-like being in it, sorta, I had some enjoyment of it. So maybe the same thing will happen here as well? Let's see what we can cover in the allotted time we have. Issue 1, Transformation. Or titleless, given the cover art. Anyway, we begin with, I've never seen stars over the earth before. Where am I? What? I mean, unless you've only ever lived in the city, okay. But I'm not so sure those should be your first words right now. So this girl, who appears to be our main character, Luna, is approached by a wolf who asks her what pains her so. I'm guessing this is a dream, since while she falls, the wolf being is asking her if she even remembers who she really is, or something. Well, hopefully we get an explanation to who raised her as a kid, who parented her, and what this has to do with losing her memories of being some kind of wolf child. But now we've really begun high school manga mode as her 19-year-old self wakes up to provide a disturbance. Only it's more to how old manga in the US would be formatted, where the panels are generally read left to right instead of right to left. But the style of the characters and their expressions do follow the Japanese formula. We also get our second main character, Colleen, or Kali for short, who might be a sophomore given her age, and that Luna is a senior student, yet is also very intelligent. Anyway, this seems like a typically normal high school in Jap-America, Chile, even having our own Barry Goodman. Wait, that's not a good thing. Anyway, Mr. Farrow is inviting her to take part in some women's tournament he's formed due to her strength when, hey, there she is, that tomboy. Mr. Farrow must be gay if he likes her that much. Yeah, I heard some girl saw her already, and she is like those freak herms, you know? From the way that was worded, it sounded like they were calling the teacher a tomboy, even though that appeared to be directed at Luna. And then what the hell is herms? I can't seem to find anything about what herms is in relation to high school. Either way, I want a were-creature to cut them down for dissing gay people. So, of course, Luna turns down the offer. She was perfect! Now I'm lost. My dreams of becoming the best sensei ever shattered. You're not helping your case for not being into younger women. This is really exposition time, since he exposits how Kali is not only Luna's friend, but also the smartest girl in school, which is why she gets bullied a lot. Also, she only met Luna like a year ago and doesn't have any other friends beside her. Cue flashback, for instance, of some jerk knocking her over. Oh my, what a mess. My clumsy hands. It happens every time some smartass makes the rest of the class look like idiots. 1, that's your problem and not hers. 2, you're obviously Queen though you're still no Trina. This school isn't that horrible. And Gina never messed with them after Luna gave her the stare. And a bucket of paint or water. I don't know. Because, though then again, this was in Spanish before, so I'll let this stuff go for now. Of that, Luna gained a brawler reputation, even when she didn't start those fights. Well, usually. A brawler for sure. So will you help me change your mind? I only have 3 months to train her. You know, you could ask a certain someone to volunteer instead.
Oh, hell yeah! Nailed it! Upsie daisy and... Oh! Yes!
Meanwhile, somewhere outside the city, some guy finds a mutilated horse, as well as a naked hide Kido nearby. Actually, we learn his name is Fang, and you can probably guess as to what he really is based on the scene of the crime. But at least I don't need to use the censor bars for this, since there's already black area to hide the naughty bits, which have nothing anyway, so moving on. The man asks what he did to the horse, and Fang makes no attempt to hide the fact that he in fact killed it, like he was a wild beast. Sorry for your animal, but you see, by the time I arrived, dinner was already served. I just didn't want it to go to waste. Sorry for taking a bite. Now, obviously killed by a beast, but what would you do if I told you that I'm that beast? The phrasing in this comic seems really awkward. I have to know if the creator wrote it in English first or after. I'm hoping that they improved over time, since this may get awkward to read otherwise. Also, the perspective of Fang rushing past the dude makes him seem a bit bigger than he actually is. But yeah, I guess since if you're gonna get into trouble, you might as well fight your way out of it. I'll also be rating the man for having lowly human senses. Oh, and that humans took the land from his people for years, because when dealing with supernatural entities, you gotta have that spiritual connection to the land be ruined by the human. I'm one of the sons from the last Lycanthrope clan. The Canis Major, I'm the White Fang! Oh, are you related to Jack London by any chance? Back with Luna, she's getting harassed by some asshole named David, telling her to lose the glasses to increase her sexiness. If I don't kick your ass right now, it's because I'm not in the mood to waste my time taking off my glasses because of you. And don't you even take me for a fool. I know very well what you and your friends done to Kali in the past. Considering the thick-headedness of this guy, I'm afraid to ask what they did. Anyway... Wait, the teacher's name is Munoz. There's a picture of a chupacabra on the chalkboard, yet earlier we had a teacher use the word sensei. Is this actually Japa Columbia? Well, as long as we don't get any other Japanese honorifics or whatever, I guess this could just be somewhere in Colombia. Anyway, some asshole trips Luna while she leaves for the bathroom. Only when she turns to scowl at him, she sees him as some kind of were-creature. Maybe a werecat? Actually, that's exactly what he is, because going back to Fang, we see that there was a misunderstanding, and the man is actually a keeper of the road. Apparently, the werecats in this are called anima, which in some languages means soul, and yeah, Fang defeated the one that attacked earlier, but warns the keeper to leave before more come. So this man, who I thought was just a random kill for the rogue wolf boy here, is actually an ally, meaning he didn't need to exposition dump his earlier stuff had the keeper recognized him, though I imagine both sides have the same sort of human disguise, so never mind. The reason the keeper won't leave is because he has to protect his special treasure, his son Ivan. But yeah, it seems a war between the werewolves and anima is occurring, since if Luna really is actually a werewolf too, and can see the enemy, then something big must be happening. Later that day, damn, she must be in the office for 2 hours now. Maybe she's still berserk and got into a fight with the principal. Okay, now you're just toying with me. I kinda like the Dragon Ball reference, even though she doesn't seem like she reads any manga. I mean, her character page says she mainly reads love stories and crime novels. Anyway, Luna's fine. She only got to meet with the principal's wife, and talked about cats, which is ironic since while I imagine the regular cats are still pure and innocent, the ones they'll be fighting are mean and vicious. I guess that's fine as long as it doesn't become full-on anti-cat propaganda by having the normal cats be in league or something. What? With my luck, it could happen. So as they talk about the strange occurrence from before, Luna finishes what she was trying to tell Kali earlier in the day regarding her dreams, which relates to myths that Kali knows about where tribes used to rely on the power of animals for strength. using animal guides or totems. And then eventually they lost their land and the story still exists, implying that they secretly are part of society. So this is basically Skin Deep if it were more focused on two of these tribes who, instead of going after the human race together, are fighting each other because reasons. And I guess Kali doesn't notice David over here watching them and calling a guy named Frank about wanting to scare them. What, does he know something we don't? At any rate, the men that Frank apparently owns are crooks who broke into Luna's house. Time for Luna to go full on Akane and kick their ass. Oh, she's knocked out. She finds her mom passed out, though still alive thankfully. And while unsure of what to do, she gets that strange feeling again that starts to force her into a transformation. I'm burning in pain. What is this? I can't take it any longer. And then over the next few pages, she describes the pain she's going through as she transforms a la Werewolf in London. This pain is way too oh, yep, there we go. Some mature imagery for you. I mean, if you don't see it now, you may pause. Oh, and a flesh tail. Now it's Ginger Snaps. If this were a movie or cartoon, this probably would make for one killer transformation sequence, about on par with those other movies. But given that this takes a little over 15 pages to do a full transformation, I would have to wonder how long it would have taken if this part of the comic were done in a weekly format, though fortunately these pages were done on a day-by-day basis. She starts having the dream again of herself as a child, and feels like she can never escape the nightmare. Soon her transformation is complete, and at least that fur is covering up the extra details that would warrant black bars. And I'm guessing these punks weren't supernatural beings, despite one of them acting like they were going to eat them. I'm guessing they're just horny, because they don't seem to think the animal sounds are wolf-like at all. But whatever. That one Bobby guy comes in looking like he just had his ass beat, and it turns out to be Fang who did it, and he brought Kali with him, thus ending issue 1. Okay, while I think this would be a good time to stop, since there's still a bit more to do, let's keep going for a bit longer into issue 2, just to see what the future has in store. Because I'll be honest, I do want to keep going with this, so I'll definitely add this to the list of webcomics I'm doing in February, along with the other 3 comics I had to push back to that date as well. So issue 2 is called Reborn, and it starts with Old Man Iroh approaching this house with what I'm guessing is Luna's mother, Laura. He seems to have child Luna with him, and is having Laura become her new mother. And the title of this issue refers to the fact that her new human life begins with a blank memory without her past. Anyway, time to watch Werewolf Luna kick some ass! And then, of course, despite looking at her reflection, this doesn't result in her freaking out, because she really is under the influence, goes down to confront the leader. Again, this is stuff I should be saving for next time I cover this because I'm kinda interested to see where this goes. But let's look at one last image of Werewolf Luna doing something cool. Biting and ripping the arm off the leader of these goons. Oh yeah, so good. While I did say this was a mature comic, really this seems more akin to Shifter's Rideau, if not a little more ecchi in some areas. Though it does get a little more gratuitous later on from what I noticed, but not enough where I would recommend against requesting this for a review. Anyway, as far as issue 1 is concerned, it's... yeah... I mean, there's not a whole lot you can take from this other than the concept being used before, so it comes down to characterization and if their liking is enough to make you want to learn more about them. Nothing from this issue really grabs you for any unique plot points until halfway through with the sudden break-in, and then leaning into a werewolf transformation. I will say that issue 2 does pick up in pacing since we see more on what happens when werewolves fight each other. But otherwise, there's not too much here that I could recommend a reading right now. At least the artwork isn't too bad for a comic inspired by manga, and it never hurts to base expressions or styles from them, since it's just as recognizable overseas as it is elsewhere. Plus, that transformation scene, when read quickly, does make for a good storyboard bit, if they ever thought to animate this or whatever. In the end, from my viewpoint, it looks like it may lead into something unique, but I hope we can get more out of these characters in time, since otherwise, the most I get are standard personalities. One is tough and somewhat a loner, one is a bit nerdy but normal, and one is reckless and possibly the hothead. Let's hope to see more story in the future. And with that, all the requests are done for this month. All that remains is the bonus objective, and if you recall what it's about, then you'll know it's about my favorite creature ever from space. See you soon.
All right, I'll bend your body in half so you're stuck in a bowing position for the rest of your life!